I don't want to cause anyone any alarm, but this is 3 episodes recorded in a really short space of time. I might be back. Um, let's let's play some Football Manager, shall we? Yeah. So essentially, you've missed nothing. Again, we've continued straight on from the last episode, which is why we're going straight into the game. Um, we've got 2 games today. Big double header against Wisla Krakow today, and then Piast is the next game. Um, we are currently sitting ninth, 23 points on the board. Wisla are in 14th. There's a big goal gap in the middle of the league there, which is slightly comforting. 6 points in today's episode could theoretically see us go as high as third, but for none of those teams to win would be impressive, so we'll see how that goes. Either way, it should secure us into the top half of the league where we need to be to satisfy our board, which means we can start moving forward a little bit. The next episode will be at the start of the transfer window, assuming today goes well. So we'll see what happens. Big news today, big team news. Jacob Lewaszko is still injured. I think he was injured in the last episode as well. He's got a few more days out. But the big news is that Akierre Wright is out injured with pulled knee ligaments. He's going to miss 3 weeks worth of football and thus miss this entire episode. So we are without the man who finally started scoring goals. He's had 8 in 15 for us though, so he's not done too badly. Which means we've had to make some big old choices for today's episode. Essentially that means that Aaron Levy is coming in up top. I had to make a straight choice between him and Exposito. I know Exposito wants some more football. Levy is not naturally a striker. He can do the deep lying forward better than most, but he's not naturally a striker. But he does offer us a lot in terms of set pieces, which is interesting to have around. Also, frankly, he was kind of hinting that he was going to kick off if I didn't play him. So I thought I'd play him because I don't need that in my life. Which does mean that Exposito is still on the bench. Also coming onto the bench was Mashinsky to cover for Leboyko. Or Lebojko, or whatever I'm supposed to be pronouncing his name. He's not played in the team at all this season, actually. Not a single game for us in the first team, which is weird because he was the captain when I got here, and I feel a little bit bad about that. But hey ho, either way, the team selection today, I should do that before we get into the game. Kushak, Dankovsky, Racic, Puerto, Halovnia, Longstaff, Ledley, Bennett, Gaskell, Placheta, Levy, Hipper, Schwerman, Musonda, Esposito, Broz, Mashinsky, Tigges, Stiglitz, and Vincent on the bench. Before I actually click into the game, while I remember, I've been thinking about the transfer window that's coming up because that will be in the next episode, and a brief kind of what I'm thinking. But leave me comments below. Let me know how you feel about this. I think I'm going to let Stiglitz go. Because he's just not been great for us. I'm going to try and get Halovnia signed on a permanent if I can get the money for Stiglitz. Our backup left back then would be Pavelec, but he is 33. I think it might be time to move on. We've got a lot of centre halves who are 30 plus in terms of Setlaban and Collins. Obviously, he's just signed, so we'll keep him around a little bit. Put Noki would be first choice keeper if Kushak wasn't there. He is declining because he's not playing. He's also, like I said, 35. Might be time to move him on. Kaiser's nearly as good. He's a little bit younger. Also, we Peakon still because we just don't need him. Radecki is drawing some interest as well from Wisla Krakow. So might be interesting to see if he sticks around. There's a few players I'd like to move along. Lucas Brosh is another one as well. Not because he's a bad player. He's definitely still our second best right back. I've had this guy Kitano on trial, who can essentially develop into just as good a player, but without that decline. So I feel like there would be a crossover in ability there some way at some point anyway. Also, Schwerman is still here. I feel like Lucas Brosh's time at the club is kind of coming to an end, so if I can get some money for him, he might be moving on in the transfer window. And obviously Exposito isn't playing. He is our second best striker. Levy isn't as good, but he's going to kick off. Exposito, if I can get a decent offer for him, he might also be moving on. So there's a lot of potential movement in this transfer window. We're just going to have to kind of play it by ear and see what happens. So, let's get into this match against Wisla Krakow. Um, Obviously, we'd like a win. We are above both teams we're playing today. Anyone in here we recognise that we should? Vasilevsky, I'm guessing, is the. I think we've done this before. Vasilevsky is the ex-Leicester Vasilevsky at 39, though. You know, you'd think someone quick running at him, maybe a Gasker, because it's not going to be Levy, Bennett or Placheta might be able to get some change out of him. Anyone there I recognise? Blaszczykowski feels like he's someone I should recognise. Played for Wolfsburg, played for Dortmund, Fiorentina. He's been around. 110 caps for Poland. So you've got to think has the quality to be dangerous. This guy used to play for Slask. Has been around the Polish league for a little while. Who else is? You've got this guy Sadlock, who's on the verge of getting himself booked. So apparently likes to tackle. He's been around a little bit. 15 caps for the national. There's a lot of Polish international players in this team, or a lot of people who played under 21s, or Shota, under 20 international currently. This is a team, I think, for being 12th, kind of doesn't tell the whole story. There's something going wrong here. And you've got an Albanian international here, played for Murcia, Ponferrada and Zaragoza in Spain, played for Sion and Lausanne and Grasshopper Zurich. He's definitely got quality. Chuka has the most assists. One Spanish player, came to them from Elche, formerly of Villarreal. Again, he has quality, and that's a real concern for us. Yeah, and we look at Brožek. Brožek, the striker, 38 caps, 36 years old. So any speed is gonna stop him immediately. But played for Celtic. I say played, sort of played for Celtic, Trabzonspor, Huelva. He's been at Krakow most of his career, bar the odd loan and that little spell he had away. 148 goals in his career. He's a good player. And this guy Clemens, I think we didn't look at as well. Probably the only player in their entire team without caps, but weirdly the one my scouts rate highest, which is interesting. High recommends for him. Don't see where he would fit into the team, but I suppose if I was going to get rid of Celaban and Collins, I could see a way he would fit in there. Be a good kind of third or fourth choice centre half. So maybe he's going to be someone we get to know a bit better. And this guy Bukalik in goal. It's just been around forever in Poland. So that is the long and short. There's no one leaps out on the bench as someone I would get excited about. Let's play some football. Let's just play some football. We can figure out if these players are any good whilst we're beating them, right? Right from the start, we're going to encourage the team. It never does anything, but it just feels like it's something you would do. Is go onto the pitch, like, come on, lads, let's do something. Also, Levy not fully fit, so we will see Exposito at some point today, which is nice because I'd like to think Levy can get the job done with a couple of free kicks or whatever, and then Exposito can go on a goal hunt. That's the dream. Mason Bennett gets the ball out wide. Longstaff to Dankowski. Ball in. Placheta hits the post, and Levy wasn't really there waiting, which is disappointing. But we're all over them at first 20 minutes. Let's do a get creative shout, because that's always achieving things. Ledley picks up the ball. Halovnia on the left wing. Really like the way we pass it around. Puerto to Halovnia. To Dankowski. No rush, no hurry. Just slow build up. Make them work to get the ball off us rather than us trying to rush the ball into the box. Gaska has a pop from wide, or from out in distance, I should say. Bukalik tips it over the net, and we've got ourselves a corner, and Levy is going to take it, which is good because he's not much in the way of a striker. Gaska picks it up, kind of squirms through the box and only as far as Bukalik, but we are looking fairly dominant thus far, and that's kind of what we were hoping for, and we've inspired the team. Although Levy is not making it to the end of the game, that's for sure. Probably neither is Placheta. Gaska is looking weirdly fit alongside the guys out wide. Gaska, like he heard me say his name, to Longstaff. Racic. What have we got here? anything at all. Ball straight back to the keeper. Kuszak is the man to kind of slow things down, make us think a little bit. It's always nice. Gasker to Longstaff to Bennett. Trying to make the break. Bennett has a pop. Probably could have squared that for Levy, who was in there, but maybe we just don't trust Levy to be the guy who's going to find us goals, which is not ideal. Bracic is looking nervous. Blaszczykowski apparently can cross a ball, but you'd expect that from a guy with his experience. We've made it to half-time unscathed, which is nice. System manager didn't really feel like getting the players excited, did he? Let's see if I can get the players excited. Let's demand more from them. They're focused now. They're concentrating. Holovnia back to Ledley. Can we get a goal here? 49 minutes on the clock. Puerto just stands around waiting for Brochek to take it off of him. And someone needs to... The guy's 110 years old. How is he making a break like that? That's ridiculous. Blaszczykowski gets the corner in. That's gone over the top. Header from Clements. And we've got a goal kick. For a team that's supposedly focused, although we have got the apprehensive centre half, it's a bit lackluster. I think maybe this is time for a double sub. We're going to send on Masonda on the left wing because we know we like him on the left wing. I have to remember what he does best on the left wing. Got a feeling it's inside forward. Let's have two inside forwards, but we'll put him on attack. We'll put them both on attack. That should give us a few more goal scoring opportunities. That feels like a wise move. And then we're going to put Exposito on. Although Exposito's best position is as a target man. Can he play target man support? He can. Okay. I'll try something a little bit different. I'm also very aware now I can't take Holovnia off, and he's the next guy in line to tire. Which could make life interesting. We'll see how this goes. Masonda probably wasn't the guy to bring on. He wasn't even fully fit, but there we go. I've just come to trust him. He scores goals for us, and that's kind of what we need. Nothing has really changed with that sub, so let's take Mason Bennett off, swap him for Lubambo Masonda. Masonda can go back to being his more natural kind of winger role. We'll put him on support, and then we're going to put on Tigges up top because we like Tigges a little bit. His best position... he can score goals. He's a striker by trade more than a winger. I mean, his best position out wide is as a target man. But I don't want two target men on the pitch because that would be stupid. So we've just got to kind of hope there is a goal somewhere. It's not going to come, is it? It's going to be a 0-0 draw. Unless Grabowski gets himself something here. Exposito's picked up the ball. Ball's in. Tigges, I told you he's a striker. Gets himself a goal in the dying moments. We've absolutely done them there. And we've dominated them all game, but we've absolutely done them in the last minute. They probably felt like they were home and dry. We've moved up to 6th. This throw-in was atrocious. Exposito picks it up. Back to Gasker. Whips it in. Sees Tigges at the back post. He's a big lad. He's like 6'4" or something. He's not really a winger. He is a striker. And he's proved it there. That was a striker's headed finish. And Tigges gets, I think that's his first goal for the club? Why is that showing in the hierarchy? Oh, because I clicked other players. I know what I'm doing. He's only made a couple of appearances for us off the bench, but he's got his first goal. That'll build confidence. He's definitely someone we're going to be looking to do more with in the future. Definitely want to integrate him a bit more. He's always my first instinct to go to when I take Placheta off. And then for some reason I always change my mind and trust Masonda a bit more. But he's done something there that kind of shows me he's got something to offer to the team. And now we are up in 6th. If we can get 3 points in the next game and these 3 teams lose, we'll go 3rd going into sort of the Christmas period. And that's kind of important. We'll give Gasker the praise he deserves because he played 90 minutes for a change. And the press conference, let's see if we get anything good here. Kuszak hasn't conceded a goal in 9 games. No, 3 games. I did the maths wrong at 3 games. He is a top quality keeper though, for this level certainly. It was a great dramatic goal. Arkra fired at Brogic, our boy from the last game. Let's be sympathetic because we never know we might need him. Who we vote for is the golden boy. I mean, it's going to be Mbappe. but I feel like we'll give Jadon Sancho a bit of a nod. We've won 5 on the bounce. Who saw that coming at episode 2 or 3 when we started talking about getting fired? 5 on the bounce. Okay, guys. Let's do a little time jump and play the second game, shall we? Back in seconds your time, 8 days my time. So we're back with game 2, and before we get into that, very briefly, there have been 2 big pieces of news. The first big piece of news is we won the Manager of the Month award, which I think I'm about to get there. Milestones. That's right click, by the way, if you don't know how to do that. That's just a weird thing. Yeah, we won the Extra Class Manager of the Month award for November. That's big news number 1. Big news number 2 is I've signed a genuine legend. An actual real life legend of the channel. Those of you who've been around for a while, who have gone back and watched old content or whatever, will remember this guy. He's young, he's hungry, he's a goal scorer, he's Polish. Would you like to meet him? Again. Simon Tubic's coming back, ladies and gents. Simon Tubic from Stockport, the hero of our Stockport save on FM18, the young lad that came through like he was going to take over the world. He is coming to Slask, and I'm very excited. I'm so excited to have him back. The thing is, he's not even like a big name player. He's not a goal scorer. He's played 1 game in the Vanarama North. He's had 2 goals his entire career. But this guy came out of nowhere on the Stockport save from our youth team. Obviously wasn't a regen, he's a real player, and just started cracking in goals every time I gave him a chance. I could be misremembering that and just tinted, rose tinted specs and all that kind of stuff. But he's not actually rated that badly. He would be the 6th best striker on our squad, essentially 4th, because we don't use Bennett or Gasker up front very often. Levy wasn't really bought to go up top, so 3rd or 4th best striker. But also, if you look at, if he develops that, if that's actually his ability there for the senior team, he develops that potential, the 4-star potential, which he could do if we use him and play him enough. I can get rid of Eric Exposito without worrying about it, and Simon Tubic could be my Mr. Reliable on the bench. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm way too excited. We've got heavy snow and it's -3 today at Piast. That's interesting. A win today, 3 points, obviously puts us up into... We'd have to have a +8 goal difference, will put us into certainly 6th. A 2-0 win puts us in contention for 5th. 3-0 definitely puts us 5th. If we can get 4-0, we can go 3rd in the table today. And Piast are bottom of the league with 4 points and a goal difference of -21, and they haven't won a game yet. They have just hired a new manager, this guy, Juan Carrillo, who's managed Wisla Krakow, Hajduk Split, Almira, Ferrovar. He's been at Espanyol. He was a Girona manager. Played for Girona, Espanyol. He's been around. He might be able to turn their fortunes around, but it better not be today. In terms of changes, the only change I've made to the team is I brought Zivilic into the bench because Mashinsky picked up an injury. Wright is still out injured. Collins is still hurt. He wasn't going to play anyway. Markovic is back, but he's not fit. Lucas Brosh is not fit as well. We need to get him some game time if we can. Otherwise, everything's looking pretty shiny. So, let's get into the game, guys. Let's see what we can do. That's the lineup. Kushak, Dankowski, Ratchets, Puerto Olovnia, Longstaff, Ledley, Bennett, Gaska, Placheta, and Levy starting again up top. I don't know why I keep starting Levy up top. He's not really good enough, but I just want to do it. So I will. We're winning, so frankly, who can criticise too much, right? The target is 4-0 against the worst team in the league. Let's see what they've got that we should be concerned about. Sharinsky is the captain. Shavinsky? I don't know. He's rated quite highly. He might be a player we need to scout a bit more because he could be a really... If we can find some money, he could be really good for us. So let's get full knowledge of him for facts. Just have a look. Uh, Keskov, um, Danish under 21 international, has been around. He's all right. He's not standout talent. Konchkowski. Um, Again, we should look at him because the scout seems to think he's okay. Let's get a long look at him. Did that work? It did work. Okay. Keep an eye on him. Huck. Thomas Huck. He's alright. He, again, probably would get into our first team straight away, so we should maybe take a wee look at him. Oh, maybe he wouldn't, because we don't really play with half-backs and defensive midfielders, so maybe he wouldn't. Jodlovic is the guy who's going to get himself suspended. 48 caps for Poland. Probably was a great player at one stage. Played for Slask. I think it was the title-winning season. Will that tell me? Competitions. Runners up in the FA Cup. Okay. Not quite as big a legend for the club as I thought. Haitley. Who's it? Tom Haitley. I know that. I played for Slask. Interestingly. Had a year at Dundee before going back to Poland. Obviously likes Poland. Came through Tranmere, Motherwell, based at Reading. I've got a weird feeling I've managed this guy before, and I don't know when or where. Interestingly, he's been in Poland for a while, though. What's that? 7 years he's been in Poland? Interesting. Really interesting. We'll have a look at him, for sure. Alves, who's Alves? Thiago Alves, Portuguese, ex of a bunch of clubs who are kind of mid-table Portuguese clubs. Goico, Polish lad who's just been at Piast and out on loan, I'm guessing. Doesn't look overly special. There is a Jorge Felix, Spaniard, formerly of Atletico Madrid's youth team, and then did a bit of a bounce around and came to Piast, and is rated highly and will get a good scouting as well, because this team's going to go down, but these players are going to be cheap because they're going to go down. Dani Aquino, I know him. Santander, Atletico Madrid B, A, etc. I've definitely come across this guy before, and I don't know why. Is this one of those guys that was a bit of a wonder kid on an old FM? Let me know. I know the name, and there's no reason I would, because I watch Spanish football, but not closely enough that he should ring a bell. So not closely enough at second division level that he should ring a bell. And yet for some reason he does, and I don't know why. Anyway, let's go into the game, because this is not what you came to see here. You came to see an epic victory of epic proportions, and that's what I'm about to give you. Facts. Look at that snow. It's snowing on the pitch. I say it's snowing. It's just like someone kind of drew some like really shitty clouds, like someone's 5-year-old child drew some shitty clouds on the pitch. Maybe a graphical thing for SI to fix at some stage, because that does look awful. It just does. But we'll see what happens. I've been frustrated by me yelling encouragement. Okay, this game's had nothing. 20 minutes and no one's had a shot yet. Have they just shown up to defend like their lives depend on it? At home. We're getting shots now, that's good. Let's get creative, because I can't have a game with no highlights. Dani Aquino, the guy I vaguely remember, runs across the blue lines, which is weird. Placheta gets it clear. Hopefully this is the start of a break. Nope. We're going to send him off. You watch. Was that Holovnia? If he sends him off for whatever that was Matty Longstaff, I'm going to be absolutely appalled. That was stupid. Okay, VAR says there was no foul. I could see that wasn't a foul. He kicked the ball and maybe caught his ankle a little bit. That was pointless. Why did we waste that time? Okay, I've inspired them. They've been inspired by the feedback. Okay, Joe Ledley is motivated. That usually leads to good things. Let's demand more. There we go. They focus now. Into half-time. The only highlight we had was an absolute nothing of a highlight. Come on, guys. We're aiming for 4 goals here, and we're not going to get them doing whatever the hell that is. I feel like I need to do a tactical play in a minute, because it's worrying when we're on a good run of form, 5 wins on the trot, and we're struggling to even get highlights against the worst team in the world, quite frankly. Um, so that's worthy of consideration a little bit. Let's show some passion. Levy with a free kick. Oh, off the post was that? That was close. Let's come on. Let's just need something to happen. We're getting highlights, but they're all their highlights. Mason Bennett gets a tackle. Have you really? This ref just wants to sit at home and watch telly, doesn't he? He's brought his little telly with him. He's going, oh, I'm going to go and check that decision. He wants to know what's happening in Emmerdale or whatever. And is he going to make a rubbish decision? Because he was nowhere near him. Yeah, there was no further action. He just wanted to know what was going on with the Dingles. What an idiot. Holovnia gets a header in. Surprisingly, that wasn't a suspected foul of any kind. Maybe the show's over. He doesn't want to watch Corrie. Bennett doesn't know anything about it. Kushak picks the ball out of the air, and hopefully we're going to get on the counter-attack here and get a goal on the board, build some confidence, because that would be really good for us. Ratchets, just get rid of it. Why are we passing it across the goalkeeper? We all know that's an idiot move. You taught that in primary school. Holovnia, on a run, kind of gives it away like it's a really bad Christmas present, and now they're on the attack. Alves on the run. If they score here, I'm going to be absolutely furious, because this has been absolute trash. Haitley flicks the ball out wide to the left to Goiko. Someone get rid of it. Oh. Oh, it's okay, guys. Emmerdale's not over. He was checking the video telly, and he's decided that wasn't offside. Obviously. Okay, let's make some changes. Just tacticals at the moment, because there's no one I'm looking at really bringing off. I just want to see how I can get more out of this team. I feel like, did we save another system? We did, but it's nothing to write home about, and it's not a particularly attacking one. What have we got there? Control possession. Control possession. Okay. You're going to get a box to box. You can go to central midfield and defend. You can be a bit more of a defensive player. Mason, what have you got? You're a winger, so you can wing. Plachetta, I feel like you're also probably more of a winger than a inside or an inverted winger or whatever. Gasker can go to shadow striker. Levy, I don't know. Aaron Levy can stay there for a second, because I don't know what to do with him. Basically, I don't know what to do with the guy. He doesn't have any kind. I mean, if I drop him back, he also, I think, plays as a shadow striker or an advanced playmaker or something, and that's not going to help me right now. Levy, what have we got? No, not a foul. Not a foul. Guy goes flying. Not a foul. All right. Oh, another VAR. Can someone just buy this guy a bloody TiVo Sky Plus box? You giving anything this time? What's he decided? He's given us a penalty. The one time, maybe the show finished. He needed some excitement. It's all right. Joe Ledley stepped up. Well, he did disallow that goal. All right. I've just been carrying on under the assumption it was 1-0 down the whole time. But Joe Ledley's got himself a goal. 5th goal of the season. Penalty. Beautiful. Piasklivitz look bereft of confidence. I mean, they've had a goal disallowed. I didn't really see it as offside, but I wasn't paying massive attention. And then they've conceded a penalty, and it's been scored. Gasker and Levy have both been shocking. Sure, we're going to do a tactics again, because Gasker and Levy are not performing. It's going to prove a really dumb move. You watch this. Bennett goes to the middle. Gaska comes off for Masonda. Levy's coming on to be replaced by Exposito. Mason Bennett, I think we decided that is the thing you do best, didn't we? Yeah, it's the thing you do best apart from being, you know, out wide. Plachetta, that's the best you can offer me. Got a weird feeling you can play something odd. Put him on inverted winger. Exposito is a target man. If I put him on target man support, he should be making space and chances for Bennett and Masonda to get themselves in. That's the thinking. You watch that fail, but that's the thinking, and we're going to carry on for a bit, and we'll see what happens. Just want to feel like there's more goals in this team. There's got to be more goals in this team somewhere. I don't like that we just sneak 1-0 every now and again. Or we either do a 1-0 or we go on a smash, but it's never at the time we need to go on a smash or a 1-0. I'm going to take off Joe Ledley because I'm aware if he gets booked, he gets suspended. I feel like we'll give Zivilic a chance because I think that's his best position. Ball-winning midfielder is his best position. Well, we can definitely use a ball-winning midfielder right now. Okay, we'll try that. We'll try that out. And of course, someone gets absolutely battered. Alright, let's swap that around. Let's hope that does something. Mason Bennett as a winger again. On attack, because I need someone to be on attack. Masonda, you're coming inside on attack. I've kind of got to keep you as target man, haven't I? Because you don't do anything else particularly well. I guess maybe that. Let's hope we can hold on with 10 men against the worst team in the league. Let's concentrate just to make sure we don't get overly complacent. Plachetta at left back is not something I'm totally comfortable with at this point, just because I've had him on the left wing for so long. I don't understand why he's there. The whole world's gone mad. We've taken a 1-0. In terms of the league, that doesn't really achieve much. Takes us back up to 6th, which is where we were after the last episode anyway. But we're in striking distance. I feel like it is going to be time to move forward a few games now, because we're, 15 points clear of being 12th. We're fairly solidly okay. So we'll carry on after this game, and we'll come back in a minute. I'll show you where we're coming back, because that's going to be important. Let's just do these wee bits of there. Halovnia, how long are you out for, son? Halovnia. Oh. Well, we were out of the woods, and then Halovnia got himself a torn hamstring, and now I've got to rely on Stiglitz, who has never shown any form. Let's have a look at the post-match interview. I don't care about him. He's going to be out for far too long. Far too long. He's definitely a central figure. Someone needs to impress. How is it going to affect us? It's time for him to get better. That's what's going on. Let's play that same tactical approach to stuff. Ryan Giggs has been looking at Joe Ledley for his next Welsh squad. Good boy. Joe Ledley working his way in, and we're 6 straight. Okay, before we finish the episode, let's have a quick look at what's coming up. Our next game is going to be against Legia, but the next game we see, because Legia are 5th, Lech are 11th, Krakow are 4th. It's a fairly... We've got a bunch of friendlies. I'm not going to show you any of the friendlies because friendlies are worthless. The transfer window, I think, opens here. So we'll come back for the Lecce game. Let me just have a quick check, just to make sure I know where we're at with transfer rules. Transfer window opens 1st of February, yep. So February is the window in Poland, rather than January, like we used to. So we're going to come back for the Lecce games and the Pogon game, which, if they stay where they are, could be interesting. That'll be the next episode, I think, and then we'll do a sort of transfer roundup, window roundup somewhere around there. I don't know. We'll figure it out, and then we'll move on. I say we'll move on. That's nearly the end of this. It's a really short. This is one of those leagues where things split, isn't it? This is a league splitty league. Let's have a look at the league splitty rules. What have we got? Points for a win, points for the 30, blah blah blah. 16 teams, 30 games. Yeah, there's a champions group where we play 8 teams, 7 games, play each other. Yeah, okay. Teams entering this stage will start with all their stats from the extra class along with 100% of their points gained. Wow. Prize money though, 1.42 million. That's aight, isn't it? That's aight. So chavvy. It is aight though. Okay, right. I'm going to wrap up the episode because this has been way longer than the last couple. I've got back into rambly stuff. If you enjoyed the episode, guys, please hit a like button. If you're not already subscribed, hit a subscribe button. Ring the bell. You get more content as soon as it happens that way, and that's good. You know, notifications on your phone and stuff. You always know when I've done a thing. Down here, I always get the wrong way around. Down here, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, Chasing Lamely. You'll find me on all those. As I said before, Twitter I do updates on what's going on the channel, and I talk about all the stuff that is just me. Instagram is mostly for music-y stuff, because I do music-y stuff. Patreon is just so you can give money if you'd like, and I'll give you a shout out for moneying. Feels nice, doesn't it? Yeah, so, with that being said, until next time, guys, I've been Chasing Lamely. You have, as always, been fantastic. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.